now.
Enough of this thing, Tanja, okay? Nobody cares about modeling videos and the bike. Everybody cares about what I'm gonna say over here.
You
Right.
forced me to this modeling.
So we got the MT07. This is the bike we didn't try, but we got it. Even though we even bought it without trying. So because Tanja said, trust my instinct. And I trust
Insect.
it. Insect, yes. With this bike we went on a trip 620 kilometers and came back, so total almost 1300. And we have some points to share from all of this experience. Total we crossed like 3000 something kilometers so far, and we are really surprised about this motorcycle. I always heard stories about MT07, and after owning MT10 I had Tracer 900. I tried also 09 previous version, new generation as well, and I had Yamaha Phaser 1000 as well as XJ600, so I have some experience about these previous bikes, and I must say this is a big surprise also for the guy who comes from this 1000cc, 900cc that I had previously. So what I'm gonna say right now is some points as usual. The first thing we wanted to talk about over here is the ergonomy of the motorcycle, and the ergonomy is quite comfortable. So when you sit, you're basically very much upright. They raised the handlebar on this model in comparison with the previous one, so you're pretty much comfortable, and yet you can get in an aggressive stance and really have this leverage over the front wheel and have the feeling over the front wheel. So as you can see over here, the knee is not so much bent as on some bikes, but still not 90 degrees. Like I remember the Tracer was even more comfortable over here. For the passenger as well, Tanja's gonna say some things right now. How do you feel about your ergonomy, baby?
I'm not sure still, because normally I feel perfectly fine, but on this long trip that we had, just because I had how do you say, equipment
Yes.
that doesn't really suit me perfectly. I'm not sure, did my right knee felt uncomfortable because of the pressure of equipment, that it's not long enough because I have long legs, and or it's because of the position, because never till this moment I felt something.
You're gonna sit on it as usual.
No.
Yes, you're gonna sit on it. Go for it. Tanja always avoids to sit because I'm not in front and she feels like bike is gonna fall down. The world is gonna fall down, everything is gonna fall down, blah blah blah. Okay, so this is your knee position. A little bit more bent than me, I guess, right? Something like this.
Well, I remember on MT10 it was a bit more comfortable because this part of the leg was just slightly front. This is how I remember it. I'm not 100% sure, but from the feeling I feel like this. And when I sit, the equipment here, it's like a lot of fabric, and here the protector presses my knee, but it's strange that it happened only in right knee. Maybe because I always look like this where we're going.
Look to the right.
Not to the left. But I felt some discomfort on the way there. On the way back I felt nothing. It was okay. Maybe I lost some weight over there.
But the thing is also that the MT10 had this Rizoma extended foot pegs over there, and over here this is a stock one.
But it's okay, it's okay. The stock one, actually this bike, being a stock bike, it's like super fun. Did you see my getting out of the bike?
Yeah, it was great. All right. So, on to the next point, the comfort on the bike. This is something that we scratched a little bit now, but we're gonna focus mainly on the seat.
Guys, I'll be first to say, okay?
What?
I'll be first to say that this seat, it's from the size wise, it's super. It's enough space. The bike is agile, the passenger can follow the rider in curves and everything. But this part of the seat, it's missed it. This part, it's a little bit more softer than this part. And when I was sitting here, this long ride, it was pretty discomfortable.
So, we had some butt pain. A lot of butt pain. I never experienced this pain actually so much in the butt, but this is like after a long trip, like we said, 600 something kilometers. Basically, when you're doing city riding or doing some Harvey streets riding outside of the city, it's totally fine. So we're gonna do the change. We're gonna change it probably for the Baxter comfort seat. And then also what's the problem for Tanja, she's sliding because there is here the angle. So when we do the another seat, it's gonna be raised up here and she's gonna sit really nicely, not sliding when I brake. And this is just, I guess, around 300 euros investment.
Yes, but even with these seats, this trip was possible. It's not the comfortablest one, and we made a lot of breaks during our traveling, but it's fine. It's like we handled it. It's not impossible.
When you combine all of this, so the knee position, the leg position, the butt position, the butt pain, your upper body position in terms of the angle to the handlebar, everything is really nice for both pillion and the rider. And on contrary to what many people like are used to seeing from before, the bike for two needs to be very big or something. I actually don't feel in my case, and Tanja as well, even though we are 182, she's 175, 7, right?
Guys, even on this bike, I use like this much percent of the seat. This is free.
So I guess I'm lucky I have this kind of pillion next to me. And like I said, it's very much comfortable. If you want the bike to have like very much fun when you're doing short trips or just city riding, and also to go long tours, as I said, seat should be changed, and then of course you can add even the Yamaha this one top case, as well as the windscreen for the highway, because on the highway of course the wind pushes you when you're going above 100 kilometers per hour. Otherwise, like, you have the bike all in one. If I again compare it to the previous bikes I had, even to the Tracer, because the Tracer was like very good for the touring. I was going also for the trip. It was 450 kilometers with the Tracer 900 GT. It was really nice, but that bike has the really soft rear suspension. It was really not fun for me and my girlfriend together with our weight, and I just found that as the weakness, let's say. And for, as I said, for the everyday bike, it might be a little bit too big for the city riding as well. So this was like the perfect for us as the option. Now the sound, some people said on the internet it's like very much diminished, it's like a scooter. Some actually like it.
Show us.
I like it because it has some roar, especially when you ride it. It's not loud, but there is some nice noise to it. And if you change it, even though it's Euro 5 and with the catalysator, with everything, with decibel killer, it will sound very nice. It will sound much more different than this one. And there is also options that are much cheaper. Some brands that are offering like from 500 euros for the complete system and up, which we are gonna probably do in the future. Vibrations. Like I said, I heard many stories about this engine, but I expected some vibrations to happen after the braking period when I go above 6,000 RPMs, but that actually did not happen. The bike is really smooth. There is no some discomfortable vibrations. Of course, there is some two cylinders vibrations that you feel, but they actually add to the character in some kind of similar way that MT10 had in a lower RPMs, some kind of vibe. This one has it, and also in combination with the sound, it really makes for the pleasant ride. I don't know, like Tanja, if you felt some vibrations behind.
No, it was really pleasantly fine, as you said it. The bike is super fun, super. By the way,
we will not ask you about your
I'm super unconcentrated. This is the worst framing I ever did.
Thank you,
till we're
Tanja.
doing this one.
We should be better and better.
No, today is like very strange day, very strange.
Gears and shifting, very smooth. I am trying to recall some problems? No, the neutral you can find very easily. You can really adapt to it quite fast to the gearbox. I really like it. So I will not ask Tanja about this one. Acceleration.
Why don't you ask me about this one?
No. Torque is everywhere. So it reminds me again like on MT10 in a smaller package. So without this crazy top end power, but very much usable power. And I was thinking before buying, like, will I miss 150, 160, 200 horsepower? But I found it not to be the case. Maybe for somebody, I guess this percentage of people who will ride it like so much hooligan way, it's low. So I don't believe like a lot of people need that crazy power or something. It's mostly it's the ego and this kind of perception that riders have, that, you know, I'm just maybe this is the beginner bike, I'm going up, and at the end it just depends on how you feel on the motorcycle and what motorcycle brings you. So acceleration in this case is really nice, pulse very nice, and again in the combination with the sound, it makes for a really nice riding experience, because sometimes you don't want that crazy acceleration, you just want to feel the character of the engine, to feel the ride, and this one really delivers. Also when we ride together, I didn't even feel there is some kind of loss of power or something, and these two cylinders, like I said, always have the power to pull. Tanja, what do you say about the acceleration comparing to the some bikes?
Every time on a traffic light I need to be extra careful.
Yeah, that's the MT, baby. Passenger comfort and ergonomics, we said about this one. You have something to add?
No.
With the top case on the longer journey, it would be nicer?
You say so, but I'm not so sure.
You're not so sure. You never like to go back. You just stick to me and keep my hand.
Yes.
Brakes. They upgraded it this year, actually the previous year, so they are really sufficient. You can of course notice in terms of the, when you compare to some super sport bikes or something, there is a difference. But for most people, again, I'm saying there will be no problem with the brakes. The front bike's really nice, the rear one as well. They are combined, really nice package. Mirrors, as you can see over here, this is, I think, the only thing we changed so far.
No, we added the stickers just
Yeah,
now.
some stickers, yes.
But just now.
The stock mirrors were really nice. So when I compare them to some other bikes, they're a little bit even better, because you can see even wider, and the shoulders are not so much caught into them. But again, I put those like I had on MT10, and they're really nice. They're a little bit more vibraty, but I see much more, and I can also put the, for example, this is a nice recommendation, the dead spot mirrors, small mirrors you can put at the end here. There is a space, and you actually have a clear view of surrounding. Looks, subjective thing. I love it a lot. At the beginning, when I saw MT range, new one, I found, for example, even MT09 looking very ugly. I was the first one to dislike it. This one I found from beginning nicer, but I must say, when you see those bikes in reality, in first person, you will see really how they look and shine. And this one I find very nice. The headlight is very nice, and the lights itself are very strong. The design, the shape, the rear light is really amazing. So in my case, 10 out of 10. Tanja, your case?
Also, I like the wheels.
Make it look a little bit over there. Yeah, the wheels are really nice as well. There was 3 options, but we chose this one. Now the finishing, as with a lot of Yamaha bikes, this one as well, really nice. For the price, I cannot find any fault in it, because a lot of parts are really nicely touched. So nothing to blame. Tanja, you?
Nothing to blame.
Nothing to blame.
Why are we in such a hurry?
Are you just repeating, because we are speaking too much?
Okay, carry on.
Cruising low speed ride and the smoothness. This one, again, I didn't know what to expect. I was like, maybe it's gonna be like typical 2 cylinders, a little bit rougher. No, you can ride it 6 gear, even 50, below 50 at 6 gear it will be jumpy, so it's not really nice to do that. But 5th gear would be nice. Any speed below 50 as well, it goes. I mean, not any speed, but let's say 30 it goes, no problem. 40 it goes. So it's really, really smooth. Actually, not quite sure about 30, but 40 it goes. So, Tanja, did you notice any kind of jerky feeling, push-pull when you ride with this one?
No, not definitely not.
You seem to like this bike. Your insect likes it.
My insect likes it.
Suspension, I must say I expected it to be worse. Because I came from Tracer 900 G3, as I said, which was taller bike, and they put cheaper suspension. And you can really notice it. For example, the harder braking, the front one dives, the rear one, when you press the gas, it just drops down, and it's really like this, even though I made it stiffer. With this one, because probably it's lower, I guess this is the main reason. I'm not really professional, but you don't feel this so much. Even when I put Tanja behind, the bike drops a little bit, but it's manageable because probably of its shortness.
Even with your dad, it's fine.
Yeah, even with my dad, I guess it's fine. Even though he's 100 plus kilos. So I find it to be really nice. Of course, when you go a little bit harder riding, especially with the pillion, you will notice some kind of misbehavior in comparison to some sport bikes. So at the end, the suspension can be upgraded, and usually what's good with these bikes is that the parts are cheaper than with these higher priced motorcycles, as the services as well. So the price opinion, now the prices came up because of the situation in the world. I guess it could be had for 7,000. We barely got it for 7,300, so we got like, what is that, sale for 75 euros only. But I must say, I cannot think of the better bike for the price, and I'm a little bit spoiled because I love Yamaha so much. But there is, of course, Yamaha Triumph Trident. There is Honda CB650, which I tried shortly, and it was really nice for somebody who likes 4-cylinder more. Trident has 3 cylinders, more expensive, more electronics, but I must say what I loved about this bike is that it's full mechanics, so the feeling is really, there is no intervention, there is no electronics, there is no traction control, there is only ABS. There is no power mode switch. When you think about it, I mean, me personally, I had so expensive bikes and so like strong bikes, modern bikes, I didn't like to use these things. It's like you pay them for nothing. So for people who like purity, this is really a way to go. Now the TFT, we showed it shortly in the video, but as you can see over here, and it's a little bit dirtier, it's very clean. In the night it shines so much you can even drop the brightness down. It has all the basic options, like as you can see, the air, the temperature of the motorcycle itself, the average consumption, which is a little bit higher now because we were riding on the highway, 2 of us with the luggage. But I must say, like the average consumption in the city before the trip was 4.4 for me, 4.4, 4.5, and that is again stop and go acceleration braking. So I guess it can be even lower. Some people say it's even like 4, and for some even less. Other options that you have over here is the trip meter, and that's it. So pretty much basic stuff, but very useful. Now the conclusion, what we can say about the bike in general. The feel is very nice. The feeling actually reminded me of the MT10, which we sold only for one reason, because of the consumption. We ride a lot, like for me it's like 18,000 kilometers, maybe even to 20 it will be per year, even here in Germany where it's raining a lot. So we loved MT10 in terms of everything.
This is a really good bike for people that are our height, because you reach the ground very easily.
Yes, that one as well.
and you sit on it very easily. It's very easy to move it, to park it, whatever. The big bikes, they were a little bit more problematic in the city and complicated to handle, but this one goes very smoothly and easily.
Yeah, it's like you get a lot of things for the bike. This is just the conclusion that I will maybe try to make it shorter, but as I said, the MT10 was really the best bike we had, and it was amazing for everything, but in our situation, with our income, with the
With the price, gas prices here,
yes, gas prices and also the services for MT10 are very high. Like once I paid almost 500 euros for, it was 10,000 kilometers service, which is really a lot. This one costed on 1,000 kilometers for the first service 180 euros. And I'm expecting the 10,000 one to be less than 300 here in Germany. But if you of course do it alone, it will be much cheaper.
tell how
So-
much we spent on the benzene. Yes.
Well, that was like 10, it's 4 liters per 100, basically. Even on the, like, only when we pressed it very hard, then it went up. So, as a conclusion, I wanted to say the feeling, many people can, like, try to not compare the bikes, but I must say there is MT07, there is MT09, there is MT10. And this one, really, when you sit on it, it feels again like MT10 in terms of the, it makes you feel like you're sitting on the animal, like on a tiger. And this is what I loved about MT10, and I felt like, oh, maybe like not any other bike can get this feeling to me, but this one really does. And it's what's better with this is that you have much more agility below 100 kilometers per hour, for example. So where you mostly actually ride it. But what's also surprising, above 100 kilometers per hour still pulls. Really nice pulling power. We didn't have any problems overtaking on a highway or whatever. So that's it for this video. I will just again say one more thing, that the position is pretty much active, as you can see over here. The MT10 also had like the similar position. 09 is hard front, which I personally didn't like very much. It's really amazing bike for the price. So Tanja,
Approved.
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 The rating we give, I must give it 10 out of 10, 11 out of 10.
I also.
You also
I did not
follow
find-
me everything. Give your subjective feeling.
I did not find a flaw. What do you want me to say? I followed my insect.
You follow your insect. All right. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the probably next one soon. Ciao.
Ciao.